It was a crisp Saturday morning, and I was nestled in my favorite armchair, a steaming mug of chai tea in one hand and a worn copy of a self-help book in the other. The book, Unmasking Motives, was about recognizing subtle signs of deceit in relationships. I'd picked it up on a whim at a local bookstore, and now, halfway through, I found myself nodding along, occasionally laughing at how the descriptions hit a little too close to home. Certain traits reminded me of people I'd met, colleagues, old friends, and, if I was honest, someone closer. But I brushed the thought aside. No need to let it sour my cozy weekend vibe. Just as I bookmarked my page, my phone buzzed on the side table. The screen lit up with Dad in bold letters. I smiled and answered, "Hey Dad, what's up?" "Ellie, your mom and I have been talking," he began, his voice warm, but carrying that serious edge he used for big announcements. "We've decided it's time to get you a new laptop. That old one you've been lugging around for your freelance work. It's practically ancient." I nearly choked on my tea. "Wait, what? A new laptop? Are you serious?" "Dead serious," he said, and I could hear the grin in his voice. "You're building your career, working hard. You need equipment that keeps up with you. Something slick, fast, reliable. A tool that screams Ellie Harper, creative powerhouse." I laughed, leaning back in my chair. "So, you're saying my beat-up laptop doesn't scream powerhouse?" "Not exactly," he chuckled. "Look, we've wired you $3,000. Buy whatever you want. MacBook, Surface, whatever fits your style. Just make it yours, okay? And Ellie," he paused, his tone shifting slightly, "make sure it's for you, not anyone else." The emphasis on "you" caught me off guard. "What's that supposed to mean?" He hesitated, then said carefully, "Your mom and we've noticed Nate seems a bit too interested in your successes lately, like he's keeping tabs on what you've got going on. We're not saying he's a bad guy, but, well, just be mindful." A knot formed in my stomach. My parents weren't the type to meddle in my relationships unless they felt strongly about something. I glanced at my banking app, confirming the deposit. $3,000, just as Dad said. Their generosity wasn't new. They'd always supported me, from helping with college to cheering on my freelance graphic design business. But this time, their words carried a warning I couldn't ignore. "I hear you," I said softly. "Thanks, Dad. I'll think it over." After we hung up, I sat there, staring at the phone. Nate was my boyfriend of a year, and things had been fine. Sure, we'd had small arguments, mostly about time management or my tendency to overwork, but nothing major. Still, Dad's comment nagged at me. I decided to tell Nate about the laptop, if only to gauge his reaction. Transparency was important, right? I texted him, "Hey, my parents just surprised me. They're giving me money for a new laptop. Pretty cool, right?" His reply came in seconds. "No way. That's awesome, Ellie. What kind are you getting? Want me to come with you to pick one out?" His enthusiasm made me smile, but something about the speed of his response felt eager, overeager, maybe. I typed back, "Not sure yet. Gonna do some research first. I'll let you know." "Cool," he texted. "Let's hit the tech stores tomorrow. I know a guy at one of them. Might score us a deal." Us? I frowned, but didn't respond. Instead, I set my phone down and picked up my book again. But my focus was gone. Dad's words echoed, "Make sure it's for you." The next morning, Nate showed up at my apartment, all smiles and energy. "Ready to find your dream laptop?" he asked, tossing his car keys onto my counter. I nodded, grabbing my bag. "Yeah, but I'm still browsing." "No rush, no rush." He raised an eyebrow, following me out the door. "Ellie, you've been complaining about that clunky laptop forever. Now's your chance to upgrade. Go big, maybe a MacBook Pro. You're killing it with your designs. You deserve something top tier." His encouragement sounded supportive, but there was an edge to it, like he was more invested in the purchase than I was. At the electronics store, he dove in, pointing out high-end models with specs I didn't even need. "This one's got 32 gigs of RAM. Perfect for rendering," he said, practically bouncing. "And look at that display. Gorgeous," I nodded politely. But my eyes wandered to a simpler model, a lightweight laptop with solid performance for my graphic work. I'm leaning toward this one, I said, tapping the display. It's practical, and I don't need all the extra bells and whistles. Nate's smile faltered. That one, it's fine, I guess, but it's not exactly a statement piece. You're a professional now. Shouldn't your gear reflect that? I tilted my head, studying him. A statement piece? It's a laptop, Nate, not a sports car. He laughed, but it sounded forced. Fair. Just saying. If your parents are footing the bill, why not go all out? Then casually, he added, oh, by the way, have you thought about how you're paying for it? Like, are you using the full $3,000 or splitting it up? The question hit me like a cold splash of water. Splitting it up? I repeated. Why would I do that? He shrugged, avoiding my gaze. I don't know, just thinking out loud. Like, maybe you could use some of the cash for other stuff. Investments, maybe. I've been reading about crypto. It's booming right now. I crossed my arms. Crypto? Since when are you into that? I'm not really. He backtracked, scratching his neck. Just saying, it could be smart to diversify. We could look into it together, for our future. There it was. Our. The word hung in the air, heavy with implication. I forced a smile. Let's stick to laptops for now. I'll think about the rest later. He nodded, but I could see the gears turning in his head. As we left the store, without buying anything, I felt a growing unease. Nate wasn't just excited about the laptop. He was excited about the money. That evening, I sat alone in my apartment, replaying our conversation. Nate's suggestion about investments didn't sit right. He'd never mentioned crypto before, and his sudden interest in how I'd spend the $3,000 felt calculated. I opened my laptop, the old clunky one, and started digging. First, I checked our text history. A few months back, Nate had casually asked about my savings, saying, "You must be raking it in with those big clients." At the time, I'd brushed it off as small talk. Then there was the time he'd suggested we plan for the future, hinting at joint purchases like a new couch or even a vacation. Again, I'd thought it was just couple stuff. But now, those moments felt like breadcrumbs, leading somewhere deliberate. I scrolled through his social media, something I rarely did. His posts were flaggy, photos at trendy bars, captions about hustling, and big wins. But I noticed something odd. He hadn't posted about his freelance photography gig in months. Curious, I searched his name online, adding keywords like business and reviews. What I found made my stomach drop. A forum for local freelancers mentioned Nate owing money to a former client for a botched shoot. Another post, buried in a Reddit thread, hinted at him borrowing cash from a friend and never paying it back. The details were vague, but they painted a picture of someone living beyond their means, scrambling to keep up appearances. I leaned back, heart racing. Was Nate struggling financially? And if so, why was he so focused on my money? The next day, I made an excuse to skip our usual Sunday brunch and visited a financial advisor instead. I didn't tell Nate. I needed an unbiased perspective. The advisor, a no-nonsense woman named Carla, listened as I explained the laptop gift and Nate's odd behavior. If you've got the cash, buying outright is usually smarter than splitting it up for something speculative like crypto, Carla said, adjusting her glasses. Especially if someone's pushing you to invest without a clear plan. That's a red flag. So if someone suggests holding on to the cash for opportunities, what's their angle? I asked. Carla raised an eyebrow. Could be they want access to it. People don't push for liquidity unless they see a way to benefit. Ever heard of someone nudging you toward a loan or investment they control? I nodded slowly, pieces clicking into place. Yeah, something like that. Carla's advice stuck with me as I drove home. Nate wasn't just curious. He was steering me toward decisions that kept my money accessible. But why? To borrow it? To invest it in some scheme? I needed to know. That night, Nate called, his voice syrupy sweet. "Hey babe, you okay? You seemed off today." "I'm fine," I said, keeping my tone neutral. Just thinking about the laptop. I stopped by a financial advisor to get some advice. A pause, then too quickly. "Oh, cool. What did they say?" "They said buying outright makes the most sense. I replied, testing the waters. No need to mess with investments right now. I'm thinking I'll just get the laptop and be done with it. Another pause, longer this time. Right, yeah, that's smart, he said, but I could hear the disappointment. I just thought, crypto's hot right now. Could have been a fun side thing for us. Us, I echoed, my voice flat. Nate, why are you so set on this? I'm not, he said, laughing nervously. Just trying to help. You've got all this cash now, and I want you to make the most of it. I took a deep breath, choosing my words carefully. Actually, I was thinking, if I did invest, maybe I could lend you some of it. Didn't you mention needing gear for your photography? Silence. Dead heavy silence. Then, lend me money. Ellie, I don't need that. I was just tossing ideas around. Really? I pressed, my voice light but sharp. Because it sounds like you've got a plan for my money. He laughed again, but it was strained. You're overthinking this. I'm just looking out for you. I didn't push further, not yet. But that conversation confirmed it. Nate wasn't just careless, he was calculated. Over the next few days, I played along, letting Nate think I was still considering his ideas. Meanwhile, I gathered evidence. I saved our texts, recorded a call where he hinted at big returns from a vague investment, and even reached out to a friend who worked in finance to verify his claims. Spoiler, there was no crypto boom he described. It was all smoke. By Friday, I was ready to end it. Nate invited me to dinner at his place, promising a chill night. I agreed, but I brought my resolve and my phone set to record. At his apartment, he was all charm, pouring wine and talking about our future. Then, inevitably, he circled back to the laptop. So you picking that MacBook yet? Or are we still exploring options? I set my glass down, meeting his eyes. Nate, let's cut the act. Why are you so obsessed with what I do with my money? His smile froze. Obsessed? Ellie, I'm just trying to support you. Support me, I said, voice steady. Or steer me. You've been pushing me to keep cash free, talking about investments you can't even explain. What's your real goal here? He blinked, caught off guard, then leaned back, crossing his arms. Wow. So you don't trust me now? I trusted you, I said, until I saw the pattern, the questions about my savings, the hints about loans, the crypto nonsense. You're not planning a future with me. You're planning one for my bank account. His face darkened, and for a moment, I saw the real Nate. No charm, just frustration. You're blowing this out of proportion, he snapped. I'm not some gold digger. Then explain it, I said, pulling out my phone and playing a clip from our recorded call. Keep the cash liquid, Ellie. We could make serious money. His jaw dropped. You recorded me? I protected myself. I corrected. And I'm done pretending this is love. He stood, pacing, his facade crumbling. Fine, he spat. You think you're so clever, figuring me out? I was just trying to get ahead. For us, you've got money, Ellie. Why not use it? I stood too, grabbing my bag. Because it's mine, not yours. We're done. He shouted after me as I walked out, but I didn't look back. The door closed, and with it, a chapter of my life. In the weeks that followed, Nate tried to worm his way back. Texts, voicemails, even a letter from his sister claiming he was heartbroken. I ignored it all. I blocked his number, deleted his messages, and focused on me. I bought the laptop, a practical, powerful one that suited my work perfectly. I landed a major client, boosting my freelance career. And I started therapy, not because I was broken, but because I wanted to understand why I'd ignored the signs for so long. Looking back, I realized Nate hadn't just wanted my money. He'd wanted control, but he'd underestimated me. I wasn't a pawn in his game. I was the one who flipped the board. As I sit here now, typing on my new laptop, I feel lighter, freer.
Thanks for joining me for Ellie's incredible journey. A story about finding your strength and trusting your instincts. If you loved this, please hit that like button to spread the word and subscribe for more heartfelt stories every week. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Has there ever been a time when you had to stand up for yourself or walk away from someone who wasn't right for you? Maybe it was a friend, a partner, or even a job. What gave you the courage to make that choice? Your story could be the spark someone else needs. Let's create a space where we lift each other up. Catch you in the next video.